In this video, we're going to break down a few layers in Muay Thai training that I think is very important to see right when you start training. And the first part here is going to be our base layer. I like to do it with our students and some of my fighters, especially when it comes to the vocabulary. If they're in the ring or if they're competing, I like to minimize the amount of words that allows them to know exactly what to do. In this case, the very first layer is always the base of techniques, the base of combinations. So as we take a look at it here, now by all means, this is not a complete, comprehensive layering guide. I'm just selecting a few here to kind of demonstrate how we do our training. So again, the base layer of techniques, let's start with that. Let's say he's going to use the cross. He's going to practice his details, which would be the shoulder cover to his face, and then the hand that comes up to cover the other side, and possibly a pivot on his rear leg. Let's take a look at the hook, same thing. You can see weight distribution. This hand is up when he's going, and then he also has his breath techniques. Third one here, let's say he's going to use the round kick. You can tell that he's stepping with a pivot. He's turning the hip. He also has hand motion and breath. Okay? So each individual technique, when we put them together, creates a base combination, like cross hook rear kick. Pretty straightforward. Now there's other combinations like jab, jab cross hook, 4-count combinations. You can come up with whatever you'd like. We're just going to use cross hook rear kick for this demonstration. All right, so now that if we have a base, and if I ask my fighter, go back to your base, right? Because like fighting is happening and different techniques are going on. We're going through a bunch of different scenarios in our mind. We're reading what's going on. We're reorienting, deciding, and then acting, right? And then we don't want to get too far. We come right back to base. It allows us to have a centering of sorts. Now, the next layer that we're going to introduce is distance management. This is where we understand that the fight isn't going to actually start here. He has to actually come into play first, right? He needs an entry. He also needs an exit. So let's look at the distance here. This distance I would consider shadowboxing range, because if he's throwing techniques and combos, it looks like he's shadowboxing. The second, when he enters, we have kicking range, we have punching range, we have kneeing range, and we have elbow range, and we also have clench range where he grabs, right? Whole bunch of different things right there. So how does he enter? Let's say he does something basic like step and slide in, does the combination, and then he exits. Always going back to base, right? Once more. And then we have our exit. All right, so when he's entering, we now have the next layer, right? And it's a little bit of an overlap from distance management and this one, which is our follow-up. He can follow up with a distance management entry, if I could say it that way. Let's say he uses a jab to enter, but his follow-up is his base technique or combination. And then he always has his exit. Could he jab on the way in like he just did? Could he also jab on the way out like he just did? He sure can. So you can see the jab entry and the jab exit. And then he exits. In boxing, I really like how they do double or triple jabs out. It's really, really good. Also, when we have that layer, we're going to introduce one of the final ones, right? Like I was saying earlier, these are just a few of the layers that I like to introduce as a package, so that way we can train them individually and see them together. And this layer would be on deception. There are two common deceptions. One is feints and one is fakes. The difference between a feint and a fake is that a fake shows a technique and then does a different one. So he'll fake the jab, but let's say he throws a cross right after. Maybe he fakes the cross, but throws the hook right after, which I like a lot. Both of them are very, very useful. Now, a feint is showing a technique, having a delayed effect to it, and then throwing the same technique anyway. So if he feints the jab, it would look like this. Or if he feints the cross, maybe he feints the round kick, which you see a lot of that in Muay Thai. Let's say, if I put this down, the effect of the deception part as he's coming in creates a reaction to me. Let's say my reaction is to cover up and try to defend everything that he's throwing. So if he does that, I block, he feints the rear kick, and maybe I put my shield up, I put it down, and then he throws that. And that would be an excellent opportunity that he created through the feinting motion. So if he were to do all of them together with me as a pad holder, it would look something like this. And then he goes back. Okay? Maybe he does a follow-up when he exits, going maybe to his right. So now he's got distance management, how he's entering, how he's exiting, and a bunch of those layers all put together. And as we were building each and every single layer, you can come into class, train each layer individually, or put few of them together.